Hey guys, so it has been a long time since I have done a video. It was the twins' name reveal, which was forever ago. But I wanted to jump on here today to tell you my birth story, just to let you guys all know and just to document it for myself for the future and maybe for these guys to watch later. They were asleep, and then this is my second time recording it. My camera decided to cut off. So, nap time isn't working out so well, but this is the only time I have right now. Anyways, so I want to explain my birth story because it was quite the event and it's a long story. But, so my due date was May 26th for full term pregnancy. With twins, I would probably deliver at 38 weeks. That was the furthest I would go. But on April 1st, I ended up going to the hospital and staying there until these guys were born. Backtrack a few weeks before that, or maybe a couple weeks, I just started to get really swollen and just not really sick, but just super tired, which is normal when you're pregnant. But I was just not feeling it. Super swollen, nothing was fitting my feet. And it was just getting worse and worse. And then April 1st was a Monday, and yeah, that whole day I kind of just rested because I knew my body really needed it. So I just worked at the desk all day long at the house, and and then it was actually the day my mom moved to town. She lived in SoCal still. So she got to the house and we kind of hung out for a while. She just sat with me on the couch, and then we ate dinner, and I just felt super full. And I ate what I usually eat at this really unhealthy place that we had that night. And I just felt really tight, really full and uncomfortable. Just like, man, maybe, when you're pregnant, you can't really eat as much because everything is pushed up, and with twins, it's worse. So I was like, I just ate too much. But after a couple hours, my food had settled, and I just was feeling tightness and a little bit of contraction. So I started timing it on an app that I had, and they were pretty consistent. The app even warned me to like go in or call my doctor or something like that. So I called my high-risk nurse that I had on call, and she advised me just to go in because it was a pretty chill day compared to my normal days. Usually they'd have me wait 2 hours and really, calm down, drink some water. But I had been drinking water, I had been calm all day. So she's like, it's best that you just go in. And so I did, and they put me in triage and just checked on me in there, and they hooked me up to monitors, and right away my contractions were pretty steady, not huge, but just steady enough. So they pumped me with fluids, they gave me some meds to kind of stop the contractions. I'm not sure what it was called, I forgot. They also gave me steroids shots for their tooting. For their lungs, just to help them develop, just in case that things progressed and they couldn't stop it. So anyways, so we did that, and then they're like, we're just going to keep you for 24 hours to kind of observe you and make sure everything stays good. And so we stayed the night in that room. We went in at like 8 p.m. I think I missed that part. We stayed in that room. Poor Brandon had to sit on like a waiting room chair and sleep on that. So the next morning they're like, we're going to keep you and put you in a labor room because your blood pressure is really high. We need to monitor you. And Maverick was having declines in his heart rate, which is scary. So yeah, they put me in a real room. We're like, we're not sure how long we're going to keep you because we just want to make sure that your blood pressure is good, that baby B's heart rate is stable, and that we're not going to miss anything. Hey. So we were in that room. We were kind of just taking it day by day, moment by moment. They said that if everything was stabilized for 24 hours, they would send me home. But it just wasn't happening. Got to lay her down. So we kind of made the most of it. We made our hospital room our home. We brought our Fire Stick, watched TV. We watched the entire Friends series while we were there. We just made friends with our nurses, two in particular, Marcy and Rachel. Hey. Don't cry. Can I just finish this video? I'll be quick, I promise. This video is going to be all over the place because I have twins. I missed a part. I had my hospital bag packed from probably 28 weeks. I had it almost completely packed, which was a lifesaver. So if you're pregnant with twins, pack your hospital bag super early, even if people think you're crazy, because everyone thought I was crazy, but I knew I needed to do it, so I did. That night I left, I only had to pack maybe a few things, throw in some like sweaters and stuff because it was still cold outside. And that was it. It was, just grabbed it and left. But back to making the hospital room our home. We made friends with our nurses, Rachel and Marcy. They made that hospital stay, and many other nurses. But those in particular I'm still in touch with. They made the hospital stay much better than I think it would have been without them. I have dreamt of being in the hospital and delivering my baby or babies forever. So it was an experience that didn't go as planned or as hoped for, and they really made it good. Sorry, the twins are down here semi-asleep, semi-awake, kind of awake. But yeah, they definitely made it a livable experience for us. They laughed with us, they joked with us, they made friendships out of it. We're still in touch today, which I'm so thankful for. So we were in the delivery room, we were staying there. My blood pressure spiked about 4 days after being in there. Nothing was regulating, so they kept keeping me. His heart rate kept dropping at like the 22-hour mark. So they're like, well, we gotta start the timer over. If everything's good for 24 hours, we'll let you go home. But I wasn't really itching to go home. I was fine. I knew we were taken care of when we were there, that if anything happened, it would be just fine. Well, then a few days later, my blood pressure spiked. It was that Friday. And so they put in some magnesium because it was just getting scary. And that stuff was the devil. I've heard it's terrible. After I had it, I put it on my Instagram story and everyone was saying, oh my gosh, this is the worst. I'm like, I'll be okay. It's not a big deal. I usually don't have really bad side effects to medicines. It was the worst thing of my life. It was completely terrible. I was out of it. I felt super sick. I was throwing up. I just felt really bad. It was not a fun time. So the plan was to keep me on it for 24 hours, and so it was overnight, halfway through the day, and then at the 22-hour mark, or 20, maybe 23, no, it was 20 hours because it was 4 hours left. They ran out of magnesium on the labor and delivery floor, and they just kept pumping back. So I was like pretty excited that we had a little bit of a break. And after a while, I was like, can we just stop the magnesium? Like, do we have to keep doing it? I'm stabilized now. I'm doing good. And they had to get approval from the doctor. And about the time they came with the bag, the nurse came and said, doctor said we can cut it. Praise the Lord. Oh my gosh. So in the midst of all that, my high-risk doctor kept coming to visit me and check on me and talk to me. And we were planning on, I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm going to be disappointed in this. So the ultimate goal between the high-risk doctor and us was to make it to 34 weeks if we could. At that point, we still didn't really know what was going to happen, if we were going to have to induce labor, do an emergency C-section because of my blood pressure, because of Maverick's heart. But the ultimate goal was to make it to 34 weeks, and I was 32 weeks on April 1st. So that was the ultimate goal, but we were in touch with him. He wanted to check the babies through the ultrasound to make sure they had enough fluids, that they were growing okay. So we did a growth scan and a fluid check, and their growth scan according to, compared to the one we did 4 weeks prior. I'm so sorry, I'm so distracted. The growth scan we did 4 weeks prior, and then that one, it wasn't much of a growth, which was a bummer because that shows that I was sick enough that they weren't growing anymore or as fast as they should. Can I just finish, okay? I'm almost done. Yeah, I'm almost done. So then it was like, okay, we're gonna make it to 34 weeks at least, for sure. So at that point too, we were still trying to decide if we were gonna do vaginal delivery or a C-section. My heart, I really wanted to do and try for vaginal. In a way, I kind of felt like a C-section was giving up for me, which I know it's not. C-sections are great. Some people choose that over vaginal, but I just wanted to experience that and just, you know, not have to be cut open. I know everyone has different opinions, but that was my emotion. I'm smiling. That was my thought process in the moment. Which my doctor was still letting me try to decide. He was pushing more for a C-section because I was so sick and because of everything. But he said, I'll let you decide until they get crazy, if that makes sense. So I was like, okay, well, I will just keep thinking about it, keep deciding, and we'll go from there. So we just kind of were at a standstill. We were dealing with my blood pressure. Kept getting really high, and it was kind of a hot mess, honestly. I always hated shift changes because some doctors would come in for a shift change and just check in and introduce themselves, which I met them all 55 times. But one doctor came in and he said, well, if your blood pressure gets any higher, we're going to do emergency C-section tonight. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't feel like my blood pressure was that bad. Okay. Hey, look, Mama's here. Look, Mama's here. Well, that kind of frustrated me that he, just jumped the gun and all that. And it was during a nighttime, so I couldn't even contact my high-risk doctor that, we were established with. So I was just, of course, that's going to make my blood pressure go up because I'm stressed out and paranoid. So anyways, we made it through that night, long story short. But then the next day, maybe 2 days later, my high-risk doctor came in and I told him about that. And he was like, no, even if I'm not here, let's make sure that you can contact me. Because ultimately, we trusted his opinion the most out of all the doctors that were there. I was thankful that he was so involved during my labor and delivery time. But yeah, so we made the most of it. Like I said, the fire stick. My sister came and she did my hair. A couple times I would wash it and she'd blow dry it for me and grill it. She came in and they painted my nails. Yeah, it's just we made it home. We just did our thing. We kind of hung out. Brandon would bring me some good food because, hospital food for almost a month is not the business. And yeah, so we're just anxiously waiting for the day to meet these little babies. And then I started to get more sick. My blood pressure was getting worse. My swelling was getting really bad. It was just, we could tell things were getting worse. My feet were so big. Oh, I scared her. My feet were so big. My legs were, one of them the size of my 2 legs normally. Like, they were so swollen, tight, and it was just, I was uncomfortable. Everything was just not fun. Okay, so I haven't done a video in forever, but I figure I need to document some of this because I'm gonna want it. It is April 13th. I have been in the hospital since April 1st. I came in for contractions. Then they stopped my contractions. I ended up developing high blood pressure, found out I have severe gestational hypertension, which is pretty much preeclampsia. And the babies had heart rate dips. So they've kept me here for 13 days. Now tomorrow, April 14th, 2019, we're doing a C-section. I can't even believe it. Like, I haven't even been updating on YouTube or anything with my pregnancy because it's gone by so fast. Everything is happening so fast, and I can't believe tomorrow I'm gonna be a mom. I can't even like put into words how I'm feeling because it's really overwhelming. I've wanted this for so long, and now it's here tomorrow. There's our heartbeats. Crazy. It's been 7 long years. It's almost 8. Like April, May, 2 more years, 2 more months. It'll be 8 years since we've been trying, and they're gonna be born tomorrow. It's just all the pain and stress and struggle has been so worth it. Like, I can't even describe how it feels to be on this other side right now of infertility for the moment. It's like even hard to to even picture that there's babies in here is beyond me. Like, they're real, like they're mine and they're real. And tomorrow they're gonna come out and be born, and we're gonna hold them. Like, I can't even. Crazy. I don't even know what to say. I don't know. It's been a long time in this hospital. It's been kind of crazy, but it's been worth it. We've been monitored. We've been taken care of. We have some great nurses, great doctors, and yeah. The baby's had a 5-minute heart rate dip 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago, which led us to the decision to do a scheduled C-section. We were still going to try a regular delivery, even though Maverick is head up, because they're so small. The high-risk doctor felt comfortable with it and confident that it would still be okay. But then after that dip, it was like, they're not going to be able to handle labor. They're so small. They're estimating them to be about 3.5 pounds, give or take, each. So that's kind of crazy, kind of scary, but I know that God is in control. And I've had 4 doses of steroid shots for their lungs. So over this time I've been here since the 1st, they started those steroid shots that day. So that's good. Yeah, tomorrow is the day, April 14th, 2019. This is the day we've been waiting for. And what's crazy is, I'm sure on videos back on my YouTube channel or whatever, we will find multiple times of me saying I wanted my baby's birthday to be to be April. And here we are in April. Like, it's so crazy how everything just like lines up perfectly. Like, another thing, my mom moved here to our town April 1st, and that's the day I came to the hospital. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just crazy, and we're just doing this. Tomorrow's the day. I'm scared out of my mind to have surgery, but it's not the way we pictured to have our first baby or babies. They're gonna be taken to the NICU right away, which is fine. Yeah. Crazy. Be a mom tomorrow. I'm gonna meet these babies I've been praying and fighting so hard for tomorrow. Gosh. Can't even believe it. And I kind of regret not vlogging my pregnancy, but that's okay. I
have this, and we'll have pictures and hopefully vlog footage for the birth, and then I'm gonna vlog them like crazy once they're here. And crazy. So that's the update for now.
So the whole family was in the room. We prayed together, we laughed together. I was super scared because I don't know why I'm about to cry. It was just that moment of, holy crap, I'm about to meet my twins that I've prayed for forever. I'm scared because I'm about to be cut open, and yeah. So thankfully I got to have Marcy and Rachel there that day, my favorite nurses, who they took care of me that day just like they did every other day. Crazy. I was so thankful having everyone there just to support me because I was terrified. But then my surgery got delayed because there was an emergency C-section or something, and so the anticipation was literally killing me. But Brandon was gowned up, I was ready. Yeah, so then when it was time to go in, Marcy walked me to the room. Brandon had to wait, of course, because he can't be in there until everything's all set up and ready. I said my goodbyes to my family. Rachel was there at the door waiting for, or was at the door when I was walking in. She took a picture of me. And then we got in the room and crap got real. Oh my gosh, they laid me down on the bed, or sat me down. They did their whole like checking in with, we have Cassandra Moon, blah, blah, blah. We have this twin, boy, girl twins. This is blah, 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 blah. All the stuff they have to like, they were all talking, and that alone was like making me scared. But I just kept looking at Marcy and I'm like, I'm so scared. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm scared. And she was like, you have to. You're going to do this. It's going to be fine. And I think if I hadn't built that relationship with her and Rachel before, I would have been even more of a mess, because I was really scared. But everyone in the room was super supportive and took care of me and loved on me. I had my two doctors, I had Marcy, my nurse, and I had the anesthesiologist. And finally they brought Brandon in, and then I had a NICU team for Emma, a NICU team for Maverick, and it was just, we were set up, we were stacked. So I felt safe in that regards. One funny part is, I don't know if, so what they did was they laid me on the bed, they spread my legs up, I think to like clean everything up, but in that same time they were numbing me, or the numbing, I think the numbing thing was finally hitting my spinal. And so I felt like the entire time, even after they were born, after everything, I felt like my legs were out and like just spread open. I remember asking Marcy, or one of the nurses, I said, am I just like literally spread eagle right now? Because the guy doctor was there just standing over me before the surgery. I'm like, I feel like my cooch is just hanging out right now. And she was like, no, hon, your legs are closed. We have a blanket over you. You're good. I was like, oh my gosh. That was a weird sensation to have, to feel like my legs were spread the entire time. So then at that point they let Brandon in. Everyone was ready, and it was showtime. And then Emma was born first. They were 3 minutes apart. So Emma was born first, and then, oh my gosh, when I heard her first cry, I lost it. I just, like, I still can't even believe that this is my story. Like, this is finally, I'm a mom, I have babies. Like, that was me on that hospital bed having a C-section. Like, it's just all really bizarre to me. But I heard Emma's cry, and they were taking care of her for a minute, and then they pulled Maverick out, and they're like, it's a boy, which we already knew, but he wasn't crying at first, and I was kind of freaking out. I was like, he's not crying, oh my gosh, he's not crying. And finally, he was crying, she was crying, and it was the best cries of my life. And now when they cry together, it's stressful, but I just can't believe that it was happening and they were born. And then they brought them to me, and I told them that I wanted to do skin to skin for sure. Like, that was, if they were well and healthy enough, that I would prefer to do skin to skin for at least a little bit, just have that little bonding time with them, because I knew they'd be in the NICU. Oh, it's okay. I will say that Brandon was amazing through the entire thing. He took care of me. He was very attentive to me, and then when they were born, he took on dadhood like a champion and like a pro right away, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't take care of them. I was sick and in bed and recovering. So he did. He showed up for us, and I'm super thankful for that, and I'm so proud of him for doing so good. During the surgery, I was nervous because Brandon said he's gonna pass out. He's like, I'm gonna pass out if I see blood, blah, blah, blah. But he looked over the drape when they were pulling the babies out. The anesthesiologist said, hey, you wanna look? And he was like, yeah, I do. And I was super shocked, but he looked over when Emma came out. He looked over when Maverick came out, and it was just such a special moment for all of us, for the four of us, that it's so special. It was yeah. They let me do skin to skin for a little bit, and then they took the babies to NICU. They took me to recovery. And yeah, so Emma was 3 pounds, 10 ounces, and 15 inches long. Maverick was 4 pounds, 6 ounces, and I cannot remember his length, and it's in my phone, and I'm recording on my phone, so I will put it right here on the bottom. Super healthy babies. They only were in the NICU for growth. Maverick did have a feeding tube at first, or he did have a feeding tube right away, and then he had an IV for blood sugars, but Emma had no intervention for the longest time. She was just champion in there until the very end, but I'm going to share all of that in my NICU story, the next video or another video to come. After I was done in recovery, they wheeled me in my bed to the NICU and let me hold the babies for a little bit and see them and just be with them for a little bit, which was the best time ever. It still feels like a dream to me. I can't even believe it. So everything was good. The next day, they wheeled me to the NICU. We got to see them. My family got to see them. And I just was not feeling good, which I wasn't going to say much because I was thinking, well, I just had surgery and I just had babies. Like, everything's different now. I'm sure this is normal. And then the next day, I was not in good shape. So every time I got up, my head felt like it was going to explode. I had super tightness in my shoulders, my neck, my head. It was not right. And so I told one of the nurses. At that point, I didn't get Marcy and Rachel anymore, which was really sad. But I told the nurse, she's like, okay, we'll give you some pain medicine. We'll make sure your migraine goes away. And I'm like, this is not a migraine. I've had hundreds of migraines before. This is not a migraine. So I did what she said. I know we did the pain medicine, but in the meantime, I'm texting Marcy, and I'm like, something's not right. She said, you need a spinal block. Something's wrong with your spinal. I'm like, what? And so we let the time go by a little bit with the pain meds, and I finally said, do I need a spinal block? And that whole day, I wasn't able to go to the NICU at all and see the twins. So Brandon was going back and forth, taking care of them, taking care of me. And he ran into another nurse, and she asked about me, and he said, she's not doing too well. She has like a really bad headache, tightness in her shoulder. She can't get up. If she stands up or sits up, it's bad. So she has to just lay down. And again, she said that I need a spinal block. So finally, we decided to do that, and that was an event in itself too, because I'm just a baby. I was crying a lot in this whole process. We did the spinal block. They had me lay flat for an hour, and then I slowly moved my bed up to see if things were better, because it was that painful where it was like so I sat up, and the pain was coming back again. It did not work, and I was really upset and mad because the blood patch didn't go very smooth. Just wasn't a good time. So I was like, I can't believe this didn't work. I was like, I'm not going to do it again. I refuse. I'm not going to do that again. So I got up. My mom was massaging me and rubbing my shoulders. I was moving my neck around. I was like moving my body to try to just like work whatever they did into my spine. And then it worked. I felt better. It was like all of a sudden everything was gone. It was heavenly. So then after like an hour of that, I ate, And then I got to go to the NICU. Oh my goodness. And see the babies, which was the best because I didn't see them all day. And yeah. But everything after that for me went smooth. My C-section scar, they put a patch over like my incision that was gonna last 7 days. So I hadn't even seen my incision. It was covered, which was great for my sanity because I was scared to see my incision and the cut and everything. So yeah, I stayed in the hospital for probably 2 days after that. They just wanted to make sure my blood pressure was good because it was still high after birth, and that my blood patch had worked. So the rest of this story will be in the NICU video, NICU life video. I hope you guys enjoyed this mumble jumble blabbing video of my birth story. I hope I covered everything. I hope I covered enough. If you have any questions, comment them down below. Follow me on Instagram, and yeah. Follow me on Instagram to watch these little munchkins, huh? Little munchkins grow. But again, I'll leave my sister's video linked down below of the vlog of the day that they were born. She got some good footage, and I watch all the time, and I cry. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. The next video will be probably the NICU one, but I am vlogging now, so that will be coming up pretty soon together. I'll probably just do all the videos I have from their birth till now in one, if that's not too long, and then I'll start officially vlogging. But let me know down below what kind of videos you want to see regarding being a twin mom, regarding twins, or infertility, or anything of the sort, because I do plan to be involved in the infertility world still and help others through that hard time because, man, it's rough. That was our birth story. We did it. The twins are here. They're perfect and strong, healthy babies. But yeah, that's it for the video. I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below and give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here, because we're going to be showing these guys all the time.